Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ranwin Parked Showcast. Because it's not a podcast, it's not a show. Frankly, I still don't know what it is. But I am joined...
You almost had a good limerick there.
Did I?
Yeah.
What's a
It's
limerick?
not a podcast, it's not a show, but we really don't know.
Oh. I'm a poet. I didn't know it. Is a poem the same as a limerick? As a limb?
I don't think so, actually. But this is a car show, not a literacy show.
Darn good thing. That's a darn good thing. But this show is myself, Co-Dodger, ZK, and Kurt J. Mac, demonstrating our ability to find interesting vehicles for sale in our areas, because we are not international, as we've discovered. This week we are changing up the format just a little bit, as these categories kind of, I don't know, they just kind of find their ways and they evolve, and we are introducing mildly interesting to the fold. But yeah, my take, or my taste in cars changes quite frequently. I don't really know ZK's history of car taste. I know Kurt's car taste history pretty well. It's evolving, but we're gonna see how things go with our evolving categories. And we're gonna evolve right into Ranwin Parked. We're all in top form today, I can tell. Oh man, you can't get rid of Ranwin Parked because it's like, I don't know, the name of the show. There's like shirts that say it on it and stuff.
It's always fun to see what you pull out of the woods.
It is probably the most fun to look for things for, because I mean, this is the reason we're doing this. Like, we kept finding these cars that said, you know, Ranwin Parked, and just ridiculous things that people put for sale. So still to this day, the most interesting vehicles to look for. And I'm going to start with my own, because I'm conceited? I don't know. Mostly, this one's a combination of, like, all the different categories, and a car that we've already seen before, technically. This is a 1990 Triumph TR7. But not just one, it's two.
Oh, there's a TR... Is the TR7 also a convertible, or is that the TR6?
There is also a TR7 convertible in the same color-ish behind it. And what looks to be a really interesting yard in general. So we've got this TR7 that is the coupe version that I have really fallen in love with. I think solely because of that B-pillar with the what would you call those?
It's somewhere between a vent and a louver type thing. I don't know.
Speed lines.
Speed lines. Well, it's got speed lines too. It's got all this like pinstriping going on. I almost.
You sure this isn't the same car from last week or whatever the week?
No, that was a really nice one. Remember?
Oh yeah,
it was
I don't
red.
think that one was yellow either.
Yeah, it was red and it had plaid seats. I don't remember it very fondly or anything.
This one probably has plaid seats.
It probably does. Sadly, there's very few pictures. But, I mean, just look at the background here. We got TR7. I don't really know what gray car back here is. Cubes.
Go to the other picture.
It looks like a Mercedes or something.
Mercedes.
Oh, I can see. Yeah, I can see the emblem.
Oh, yeah,
out of
it
the
is
top.
Mercedes. Look at you, Kurt.
Aha!
Car knowledge. Oh, there's a white car in here that, frankly, doesn't even look like a car anymore. There's the windshield. You got a Europa over here. That looks like the nose of a Europa.
Is that what that is? I was going to say that looked like an MGB or something.
Could
like
be.
One of the...
It looks real slanty though.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
But it would fit the TR7. Like,
this looks like a place of a person that's made a few mistakes in their day.
And then forgot about them in time for a forest to grow around them, and then they're like, "Oh yeah,
man, I should sell that stuff." So $1,200.
That's a lot of money.
Each prices each.
Yeah, that's not just for one.
That's a lot of money.
I guess it is. I would still do it in a heartbeat.
I've so
fallen in love with these cars.
Okay, so the hardtop one, like the convertible, that's trash. But this one, like the body looks okay. Like I could see if you washed it off, it'd probably be all right. But I'm worried about like the interior squirrels and stuff.
I mean, it's missing a lot of stuff too. Like that mirror's knocked off, the blinker's knocked off. When you have one picture and it's only showing like 7/8 of the car, and you can spot a bunch of things missing, that's not a great sign. However, I bet you could probably talk them into a package deal. So you'd have a parts car.
Just get the reflector off the other car real quick.
Yeah, and while they're not looking. I fear me becoming this person.
I look forward to being this person.
These are hashtag goals for ZK.
Nice. Oh, I didn't even see the
Maybe
car.
less woods, more field, but yeah, about the same.
Is that
a boomerang car?
To the right, almost kind of looks like a 2CV just based off of like the nose of it. I want to go here. I want to find this place.
This just makes me wonder of like how many places like this actually exist, because it has to be a surprising amount of them.
Oh yeah, I mean I see them even around me. I'm always like, I see them, I'm interested, I want to go like take pictures and stuff, but then I remember where I am and how much I don't like having shotguns pulled on me, so I never do. But this stuff, yeah, it's everywhere. Like every town must have a dozen people that do this.
The life.
And only one of them can be my own father, who just this weekend dug the 80s El Camino out of the backyard that somebody drove down from New York to get. That it was only like the back 3/4 of the thing, and they dolly transferred this thing from Florida to New York to get the bed out of it because the bed wasn't rusted. That was quite a treat. Really reminded me of my roots. This one doesn't actually technically say ran when parked, but you know that's their intent here. They think every one of these cars in the yard is perfectly ready to go.
Well, for $1,200, yeah.
At least they're honest by saying poor condition. A lot of these will say good condition, excellent condition.
I don't know, that's some quality patina.
Patina. That's not even patina. I'm curious how many pine cones are inside.
Yeah, there's
scum.
There's definitely a line between patina and like grot. This is just mold and mildew and nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty. Oh, can you smell that interior? Because I can smell that interior. It's not good. It's not good. All right. From Lord Patina himself, Kurt J. Mack.
Oh, what I have here for you is a Lego set.
Is this
apparently, this is part of it. A 1974 Saab Sonett for only $750, by the way. I do want to let you know that the project has been canceled. That is the first line of the ad. Project has been canceled. I don't know how that carries over to the person who wants to buy this, but yeah, a Saab Sonett, which as we flick through the images here, it's what we have here is you take out a bag of Lego and pour it on the ground and good luck. The body panels are completely separate from the frame. The engine is in the trunk. That last image I had to look up on Google because I was very curious what these are supposed to look like when they are all assembled. They look pretty cool.
You can't do that. You can't just go to the last page of the instruction manual. You gotta work through the whole thing.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
This is like the picture on the front of the box of the jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah, but you see, the jigsaw puzzle usually comes with all the pieces. I don't think that's the case here.
No.
Oh,
I
and
don't think that's the case either.
It definitely looks cut up. Maybe that's what they just look like, but...
Well, they're like, aren't they like composite body? Like, just...
Don't ask me.
Fiberglass bodies on whatever.
I would
Mhm.
assume so. There doesn't appear to be any
But there's no
rust on any of these
glass.
body panels. Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
glass.
No interior?
It does say
No.
all glass in good condition,
Hmm.
but there's no pictures of it.
So maybe we just don't have pictures of all like the bags. Like there's some bags of parts that are missing.
Yeah. The V4 motor runs. I don't know how it runs when it's sitting just naked there in the shell of the vehicle. but-
Right. No belts, no water, no radiator. I mean, roadkill would do it, but still, to say that it runs is bold. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you're ever wondering, what would a V4 look like? You're never going to get a better view than this.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck figuring out all that wiring harness and
Nope,
everything.
there's the radiator.
Yeah, there's this radiator. It's rear mounted. Better cooling. The gas tank is there. The wire, I mean, there's wires there. They're all there, maybe. I guess this is intake, maybe.
I don't know. That's real weird.
Man, Saab, why are you so weird?
There's the blower fan.
I think it's
it might-
steel. Like that looks like it's been scratched and is rusting.
That looks like it just bolts together down. If you go on the last picture, I don't know if those are cut out spot welds or just bolt holes to attach it to the chassis.
Is there a Saab Sonett fan out there? I bet you there is. They're gonna tell us all about it, and I will read it because I want to know. Front wheel
How
drive
much-
too, right?
I don't think these were. I think these were rear wheel drive. I'm not entirely sure.
The motor looks really far forward for a V4.
How much did they want for this?
Yes, front wheel drive.
Front wheel drive. Oh,
Interesting.
it does actually say front wheel drive in the ad. Thank you.
Ah.
Thank you, seller.
$750.
It's also a subcompact. Well, yes, it is.
In its current form, it's many subcompacts.
Is this complete in box?
Yes.
Does it come with a crate or something to bring it all home in?
Can you just? I just can't even. I've fallen for some really bad projects. I just can't imagine starting from this. I just can't imagine it.
Yeah, I can see starting with a full car and getting to this and then being like, oh my God, what did I do?
And then posting it on Craigslist.
I just love this
that-
picture of the
is that a
body laying in the
different car?
background.
Yeah, is that a different car in the top right? Or is that
No, that's
the
it.
same-
No, that's the same. Yeah,
Oh, it's just the angle that they didn't show us.
Yeah, we don't.
yeah
give a
there you
crap.
Okay,
can
I
see it
see.
in the background.
Yep. Boy, that is tiny, huh?
Yeah, not very big.
Very, very small.
I don't know. If you wanted like a weekend project to last you the rest of your life,
One very, very long weekend.
I don't know. I can't decide if this is salvageable or not. Somebody out there will tell me that it is, and I will say, good luck to you.
Right. Yeah. For $750, like even like the engine, you could probably find better, different engines for like to put in something else than this
yeah.
V4 motor. So even that is like, ugh.
You know, this might be good if you had a Sonnet and you needed parts.
Yes.
I mean, they're already taken apart for you.
Yeah, exactly. Departed.
I really
The
want to
Departed
use this as the episode title, but I fear people will think the wrong thing.
Project has been canceled.
Oh, man. Boy. You know how to find them in pieces.
I do. Yep.
Well, at least this project, you know, pretty easy to find a radiator for. Zing!
Listen.
All right, ZK. This has already been quite an adventure. And
So-
you bring us
A 80s? It's not listed. Oh, 87 Suzuki
year.
Samurai. Unfortunately, this is the only picture in the ad. However, I'm a big fan of Samurais because they're tiny, four-wheel drive, Japanese utility vehicle things that they can't make anymore.
ZK. I just got like inceptioned into a different realm looking at this picture.
Oh, I see what you're. Yeah, it's some sort of Escher situation going on.
Really?
The swing set in the background is the same exact color as the Samurai. And I thought for sure there was a swing set mounted out of the hood of it. I thought this was like a tower coming out of the front of the vehicle.
Like a tow bar, yeah.
Right. That was something already. Okay, continue.
Well, they went $900 for this, and apparently it was running 3 years ago. But yeah, title status missing.
Just like most of it.
If you know about Samurais, then you know how valuable the parts are. It could probably run again, but no guarantees. But like, go to the other picture that's just zoomed in, and like, God, this thing is just rough.
There's a part. There's a part. I'm looking for anything
Ooh,
that's plastic.
Look at all the holes on the frame rail there. I'm assuming that's
The
the
frame rail's all rotted out.
Yeah.
Fenders.
The dash is
Okay.
sun-baked. It's got a swing set attached to it.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that it's just like, it's bold to attempt to sell this.
But when I saw this, like, it's like, okay, cool, Samurai. And then, like, the longer you look at this, the more things you find. Like, is this the best or the worst childhood? I mean, you got this swing set that looks like it's been used
Yeah.
next to a cargo container and a rusting Samurai, and I'm pretty sure that's a forklift fork sitting there on the left-hand side.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have to say, old cars in the yard are the best forts as a kid. I have very fond memories of a 78, I believe, Chevy Nova that sat in our yard for many years, and that was more often used than the tree fort we ever, like that. The tree fort maybe used 5 days. That Nova hung out in all the time. I can still smell the awful vinyl interior in the Florida sun. So maybe it's the best childhood. Maybe the kids have grown up to the point where they no longer want to play on the tetanus mobile.
Yeah. I was about to say they've all been cured of their lockjaw.
Ouch.
No, I do. One of my neighbors, a new neighbor, moved in, and he has a Samurai. He's parked it in the street. Recently, he's had it in and out of the garage. I haven't talked to him or anything like that, but it's recently been parked in the street for the past week or two. So I'm wondering if it is parked and no longer running. I don't know. But
sounds like you should be friends with him.
Yeah.
Sounds like it, but that would require me talking to strangers.
I'm really wondering when somebody's going to figure out that people are parking all these cars in your neighborhood.
Yeah, there's somebody else quarter to me who he recently picked up I don't know what it is, but it's like an old 70s pickup truck, and he has this full-size pickup truck that in the bed is just the block of a small block Chevy, just that's been in the bed sitting absorbing all the rain and rust. And he also has in his garage a couple motorcycles and a WRX that has never left the garage since I've lived here.
Like the same garage as yours?
Yeah, one car garage.
Impressive.
I think his unit has a tandem. 2-car garage.
I've never heard the word tandem garage before, but I like it.
It's where you park one in front of each other.
Yeah.
Very inconvenient if you want to get the deeper car out.
Well, nobody ever does.
No.
I had the 240 parked in front of the Supra for a long time, and it just sat there.
I just got this mental image of Kurt looking through his blinds at all his neighbors' garages and their cars.
I want to
down
know what a
notes.
deer lease is.
A deer lease?
I was going to use it on the deer lease, but got busy with work.
Oh, a deer lease is like hunting grounds where you have a lease to hunt deer on.
Oh, that's much less exciting than I thought it was going to be.
Still making payments on that deer.
Like I was going to trade it off to get that deer, but decided to sell it instead. Well, Rambler Park delivered this week.
Mhm.
End of the show.
Yep.
Can't get any better than this. Huh.
Or can it?
Or can it? I don't know. It depends on mistakes that we may or may not make and may not have already made. I don't know. I can't really keep teasing that again and again because eventually people are going to figure out that the SVX was the only thing.
Yeah, that's the one and done.
Yeah. Alrighty. What mistake do I have lined up for this week? It is a 1993 Mazda MX-6 LS Coupe two-door. This is one that myself and ZK and a few of the automation developers are familiar with. And it is presented here with 152,000 miles. I sound like a Barrett Jackson auctioneer. It is presented with, but no, it's 152,000 miles, manual transmission. Most importantly, because it is an LS, that means it is a V6, and only $2,000.
And this is the tiny, is this the 1.8 liter V6 or something like that?
This will come with the 2 liter. The bigger, I know, I'm saying bigger, 2 liter V6. That, it's an interesting engine. I can't really explain to everybody why. I'm sorry, this is the 2.5. That's right. We have the larger 2.5 over here.
That's right.
But it's an interesting engine. It's extremely overbuilt. It sounds hilarious because it's super short stroked and revs pretty high. And I think this would be, if somebody out there was first car shopping, I think this would be a great pick.
Yeah. Like if you were like, college, needed your college car, this would be perfect because it's 2000 OBO. Even.
Yeah.
So less than $2,000. I think these are generally reliable-ish.
Yeah, I've not really heard any bad things about them.
Are parts still possible to find?
That's
the question I'll be asking from now on.
Probably harder than some vehicles, but not as bad as, I don't know, Subaru SVXs. Because these are parts shared with the Ford Probe, which is always a fun time to say.
Only 23 miles highway or MPG?
I bet you they were probably not fantastic at that. No high-revving engines were. They also made not very much power.
No.
But
with the straight pipe exhaust, they sound real good.
They sound real good. And there's also notably a missing tailpipe from this, so I have to imagine that it's already straight piped. And personally, this for me would be a fantastic rally car. Like a rallycross car. I would love to use this thing for that. For that price,
this is like a lot of fun for the price that you could also like live with and, convince yourself that's a good idea to buy.
Yeah. I think the big thing is these cars kind of got forgotten because this is the same time Mazda was making the MX-5. They were making the Miata. And for a long time, you could get a first-gen Miata for, a couple grand. And I would say, in general, you could probably have more fun with a Miata than you could with this. But now, that's not really true anymore. MX-5s are getting expensive, they're getting harder to find, they're getting used up. So
yeah, they're getting used up.
Yeah. Used up makes the value go up. So I think this is interesting. Sorry, there's other interesting things in this. Never mind.
I think I saw what you were about to say there, Conan.
I wasn't going to say anything. You just move along, everybody.
An unexpected picture of the trunk.
I'm fine. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Kurt, introduce your car.
This is a mistake I'd made. I had to just remind myself what segment we were in. But this is a 1965 Rambler Marlin. Last episode, we were kind of talking about, after Cube's Corner, how, you can get like a Mustang or, a well-known and popular and very accessible classic car. And how I think you and I, at least Cone, agreed that, but the rarer and more interesting grabs my interest, even if it's a little bit harder to fix and come by parts
And even if it was like
resources and things like that.
Like, just because it was a worse car then doesn't mean that it's less interesting now.
Right, exactly. And this 65 Rambler Marlin for $3,500 with a wonderful patina caught my eye. It's a very, mid 60s large two-door coupe. And I really liked y'all know my love of interesting rear windows. It's got a very nice rear.
Even the side windows are pretty cool.
Yeah, the very long kind of teardrop shape-ish.
Oh my.
Yes.
Oh.
That's delightful.
That is a butt.
Staying on theme. That in the biz is called a callback. I think the trunk is only that little middle part.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you get anything in there?
It's not a hatchback. That's a trunk, sort of.
That's not like the fuel fill, right? No, because there's the key right there.
No.
It looks like there's like
no, the fuel fill
there's like a lens in it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think that might just be like a logo or something.
Yeah, I don't know. What? My dad's going to be so disappointed in me. What is it? Is it an AMC?
I don't know either.
What? I mean, Rambler Marlin. But what is it? Is it a Rambler?
It's an AMC. Well, it was later an AMC.
Oh.
Or yeah. They did. It is the Rambler Marlin. But
Okay.
it was made by the AMC, and they later called it the AMC Marlin.
I mean, it has all the tells of an AMC product, but it didn't have any AMC
where it looks like a Chevy up front and something really weird in the back.
Yeah, basically. That's kind of what they did. But no, yeah, to me, this is so much cooler now. This is so much cooler today than a Nova, a Chevelle, a Camaro, something like that, because everyone knows those cars, and people have kind of forgotten probably these cars. I certainly did, because I had no idea what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Look at the Marlin badge.
Yeah, the Marlin badge. Even the what's the other AMC? The Barracuda.
Right. No,
what is that?
That's a Plymouth.
Plymouth. Oh, that's right.
That's another back window you like. I know why you went there.
Right, yeah. And also fish. All these interesting back windows named after fish. So yeah, even those are pretty like unusual and not popular cars, but even those are starting to fetch. I think people are starting to catch on to the interestingness of the Barracuda.
I will say one of the design elements I really like in this car is if you go to the side profile, there's that crease that along the whole, like where the rain channel would be, all the way down to the trunk.
Oh, like up here above the window?
Yeah, like that's just I just really like it how it just goes the whole way back.
Yeah. No, I like this. Like, I wouldn't have guessed from the front what the back was going to look like.
Yeah, the front just looks like a Chevy 2 or something.
Yeah.
Like just generic American coupe sedan thing.
I didn't really see how much it cost. $3,500. Definitely looks like it's going to need some going through.
Yeah, especially looking in the engine bay. It doesn't look pretty.
No. But it doesn't look rotten.
Oh, it's got the washer bag.
It does have a washer bag.
Yes.
Something in common with the Mark II Celica Supra. Every car is every car.
Every car is every other car.
One of my favorite things about the Corvair is, like, I think it has a normal washer bottle, but it comes with a spare washer bottle, washer fluid bottle that's just so you have extra. That's a glass bottle that's just mounted in the trunk.
Oh, it like mounts in the trunk.
Mm-hmm. But it's just like a little glass bottle that you can refill it with later.
I mean, luckily the wiring looks really good. All four of them.
Yeah. It's a very complicated ignition computer in there, isn't it?
definitely needs going through, but very cool.
Yeah, very cool. Only made from 65 to 67, so yes, definitely. Probably wouldn't be
some XVS
thing
or
to,
XVX
restore.
itis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worth it,
even a
though.
car this big, you could just find a different engine and something a little bit easier to work
Is this
with
a
and
big
drop it
car?
in.
I'm having a really sense
I
of scale
feel like
issue
it's
with it.
long. I feel like it's a pretty big car and that it's long. It's maybe not as wide as like a full size, but not as wide as that brake pedal.
Yeah. You want to hit it with all 3 of your feet.
But yeah, I don't know. I always get very curmudgeon-y about like put a modern engine in it, but good luck probably finding original engine parts for something like this. So putting something modern in it might be the only way that you get to like actually enjoy the thing, or even just putting a normal small block or whatever in it. But it would be super cool to maintain the original engine and configuration. I would not make that mistake because the title is missing and I'm now super jaded about that stuff. But as far as the Rambler Marlin goes, I like it. I like it.
I like it too.
Especially the butt. Okay.
I'm holding my tongue.
All right, ZK, take it away.
What we have here is a gorgeous Porsche 914 for weekend fun for only $5,250.
What are they selling here?
And 1975 Porsche 914
or some weekend fun.
for some weekend fun. I will go ahead and say that out of all the Porsches I like, which is none of them, the 914 I actually kind of do like just because of the way it looks.
Because it's not a Porsche.
Basically. And I know that Cone hates these cars, so I picked the car that he would be the most conflicted about.
Nope.
Just go through the pictures.
Because it's orange? Oh.
I mean, the back is better than the front.
It's bright orange.
It's very orange. It's a major turnoff for me. Not only is it orange, it is like exactly Home Depot orange.
It's cone orange. What are you saying?
Yeah, no,
nice
different color. Different color. It's got a bit of a body kit. It's missing headlights.
I was going to say, didn't these have pop-up headlights?
It's got those corner lights are the headlights, but
CS, there is no way this is a CS car. That is misclassed. This
is an autocross.
It is an autocross. And I would like to note for the jury that orange does not match that orange.
Okay, now if you look to the left, there's one cone that does match.
The very faded, abused one, yes.
Which is on brand.
Not a picture of me, by the way. Those that are listening, it was not a picture of me. It's a real cone. What is this picture?
I thought it was really funny. We'll get back to this.
Proof that it's on the highway.
Yes.
Oh, more.
Proof that it's on the highway. Just go back. Just take a very good close look. What the speedometer looks like. What it's saying there. I would say it's about 65-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just remember that.
Okay. I mean, someone's been through the thing. Looks like a backyard, not restoration, but like resto mod.
Yeah, it's got a cage.
It's got a cage.
It's got
knees in the dashboard. They certainly like to autocross it. What is it with? I gotta start a revelation here. A revolution. A rotary. Why do so many autocross pictures have porta potties in them?
Because that's where you stand because you have to go there so often.
I don't know, but it's an epidemic. A lot of random pictures here of mostly them rattle canning things.
Yeah.
We're back.
And his knees in the dash with the little eBay switch panel.
And wires and tubes.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's that
Why?
line if you read through the stuff. Just read the disclaimer.
Disclaimer. Everything is functional except the turn signals and the right passenger door handle. The signal worked for some time, but I believe the relay needs to be replaced. Brake and headlights work. What headlights? There's no headlights. All gauges besides CHT work.
I don't know what that is either.
I haven't done alignment, so the steering wheel shakes in between 50 and 65 miles an hour. So
back at that highway picture where he's driving it on the road,
one-handed taking a picture.
going 50, 65, where supposedly the steering wheel shakes.
Good to know. Also at 4,000 RPM of 5,600, it looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd make a fun little autocross thingamajig. Sure.
Exactly. And I think that's exactly what it's being sold for. And like we were talking about how all the Miatas are used up.
Yeah.
So for the same money, like this looks like a lot more fun than a Miata just because it's so weird.
I mean, it's a lot more fun. You're not going to be competitive. Like if you want to do well.
Oh yeah.
You don't buy something like this. But if you want to have more smiles per gallon, you probably get something like this.
And probably a lot more pictures taking care of you out on the track too.
Right. And only some of them would be laughing. This is a stunning car. All right, easy now. And everywhere I go, I get non-stop compliments.
Good job, Timmy. Keep it up.
Yeah. Are they laughing?
I would be like, hey, where'd the headlights go?
Well, he says there's a retrofit projector headlights. Works very well at nighttime.
I think they're in
maybe
the
they
bumper.
put it in where the side mark.
I think they're in this.
I don't know.
Is there a front picture?
Not really.
Oh no, there ain't no headlights in there.
No, it's just.
So does it replace those little corner light things?
Yeah, I guess.
Seems like it.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Man, that thing looks depressed in that picture. Oh.
Yeah, it's got that weird bumper that looks like a body kit, but
I get the feeling this is a PCA event.
I think I like 914s, and I think I find this myself, or like I find me liking cars that have this feature in general, is where the rear wheel tucks in to the fender.
Oh.
And usually that on 914, well, it's because the fender is just cut that way.
Right.
And like the Roadmaster has the lower things.
Yeah. I can think of a lot of
or you
terrible
slam a car
cars
real
that had
good. I find myself liking those cars, so that just might be me learning something about myself.
that. Today we learned a little something. Actually, if you've ever looked at your S13 closely, have you ever noticed that the front fender, the front wheel arch, is 4 inches taller than the rear arch?
Is it really?
And if you lower them, the back wheel tucks in, but the front does not?
Makes sense.
If you look at the body line down the car, the front arch is way above the body line, and the rear arch is way below the body line. So, we now know ZK's car fetish.
We can further deduce his taste that is so difficult to pin down.
It really is. I still have no idea what your taste in cars is at this point. Honestly, I'm not even entirely sure you like cars.
Well, yeah, we did have a motorcycle last time.
Oh, man. All right, well, now we move on to a slightly new category, and that is mildly interesting. ZK, this is kind of your spearheaded project, so introduce us.
So really what I wanted to call this is ZK talks about his boring cars that no one else likes. But that was too wordy, so we just called it mildly interesting.
Really sold it there.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Bonka, can we get a little work on the description of that? social media
really,
director.
I feel like these should be cars that, might not necessarily be visually interesting, or they're not broken down or have weird stuff done to them, but I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. They're mildly interesting. So
Well,
I guess we're starting with me.
I'm going to start with you so you can tell us and steer us in the right direction.
So this week we have a 2008 Acura TL Type S sedan manual with navigation for $8,000. And the reason this is in my mildly interesting is because this is probably, if you needed a sedan, one of the best buys you could make if you were on the market. Like, it's very similar to the Accord V6 manual coupe I had the other week, except for it's a sedan with all the Acura treatment. It's got the VTEC V6, just like that NSX in the background.
Yes, I was hoping you were gonna. I was just sitting here, mouth agape, waiting for you to make this reference.
That was also a major factor in picking this particular car.
All right, now to go through the pictures.
And it's just a really nice sedan with a 6-speed and everything you could want in a car that you'd have to like daily.
You might be surprised. This might be a surprise to you. This is one of my favorite Hondas ever made. And
it's one of the best Hondas ever made.
I desperately wanted to buy one instead of my first newish car. But instead of the first car that I bought with like a loan, like quote unquote adult car, I really wanted to buy one, but they are super hard to find, not completely burned to the ground.
And this one's completely stock. There's a book with it on the cover with all the service records in it.
I love that description. There's a book. No, yeah. I mean, it's not. Let's not sell it wrong to people that are listening in. It's not perfectly clean. Like, it is not a perfectly mint car. But for these, this is really nice.
It's basically perfectly mint. It's just got nearly 150,000 miles on it, so it's got some wear. But I bet you could drive this thing for another 150,000 miles. It's got good.
Yeah.
I like the wheels. It's got weird quad exhaust that somehow works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always liked those too. I like that they look from the factory. It looked like it had an aftermarket exhaust.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that.
And cool. I think like this angle shows it really good. It's got like the blacked out taillights. It's got the grayish gunmetal-y wheels.
It has blacked out taillights that still work, to be fair. Yeah. They're not like the kind that make them work worse.
It's like the old Altezza taillights, but instead of chrome, it's just like black. And there's no chrome, like no chrome trim. Well, I mean, like around the windows and stuff, which you see on all of these quote-unquote luxury cars.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, it's still a lot of money, and that's another reason why I ended up not with one, is because this was 4 years ago, and they were still getting a lot of money for these.
Yeah, for $8,000 though, like, if you're getting a used car that you...
Not
for
terrible.
Fun versus reliability versus able to actually drive it every day, like...
You sold me, I'll take the NSX.
Except for you have to at least double or triple this number to get the NSX. Yes.
My brother was so dead set on getting a first-gen NSX right before they went nuts in value. And now that dream is dead.
But another thing is, like, they don't make this car anymore. There's not... What? I guess you would call this like a mid-size, maybe full-size sedan?
Honestly, the modern Genesis is probably the closest to this. But it doesn't have the same charm.
No, and like, you can't get the big motor in the manual in the new Genesis. Like, this has Brembo brakes. It has an LSD, even though it's front-wheel drive. It's got all the sport suspension that came with the manual transmission option.
Probably gets atrocious miles per gallon, but I don't care.
I don't think it really gets all that bad.
I think all of the Honda V6s kind of did. My brother has a Ridgeline with that same V6, and he says it's just appalling.
Well, that's a Ridgeline. It's a little bit
I
bigger.
guarantee you it's not much bigger than this. It's one of the things I've heard about that motor is it's not very fuel efficient, and that's kind of why it went dodo bird. But I mean,
It's
neither
got
does my car, so I would do it.
It's got a 5.7 0 to 60. 280 something horsepower. I had this pulled up. Hold on.
You gotta get them facts,
Yeah.
son.
286 horsepower.
It's more than my car.
And apparently 27 miles per gallon highway.
I believe it when I see it.
I don't know. I really like this car, and it's boring, but that's the perfect thing about it. Like, you just drive this every day and not going to get any attention.
That is mildly interesting.
I'm mildly interested.
Just call them up like, hello, I am mildly interested in your car. Click. All right. Well, I could tell you already, I've probably missed the mark here.
It's fine.
I've found something that's mildly interesting to me, but probably to most people is not that interesting. That's kind of
Perfect.
it, right?
Yeah.
To me, this is a mildly interesting car. To you, it's probably, I don't know, more than mildly interesting, I guess. Like, this is too interesting. But what
No,
it
I
is-
think this fits it perfect.
Okay. Because it's not like something, it's not a car, it's not a mistake that I would make. I already made that mistake. It's not ran when parked, it's not a best of, it's just an interesting car that exists. And
Yeah.
it is a 2009 Pontiac Solstice GXP Coupe. For those that don't know, Pontiac died in 2009. Basically, I think it's 2010 was the official end of Pontiac. And the Solstice Coupe was the last car Pontiac really made. And they ended up only producing 1,000 or so of them. And only a few hundred were GXPs. And I think it's probably one of the coolest looking cars of the 2000s. Hear me out, because I'm going to get flack for that. So, first off, the Solstice, for those that don't know, is a small two-door car. It was meant to be a Miata competitor. It was front-engined, rear-wheel drive. It used a lot of new architecture. Like, GM went and did a lot of stuff to make this car good, including, a fully new double wishbone front and rear suspension, new all-aluminum 2-liter turbo engine. They made a what is it called? AHS steel chassis. There was a lot of work that went into making this car a success. And then they put the GM part spin on it. And it got a Colorado transmission and a truck differential and a lot of bad parts and a lot of bad press for that because it felt cheap versus a Miata, basically. And then they made this hardtop version because they were all convertibles up till then. And I think, personally, it's gorgeous. Especially the butt. And I don't know why that is a recurring theme today.
So this particular angle reminds me a lot of the Viacross for some reason. I think it's just kind of that bubbly look.
Sure.
It's not necessarily bad. The what?
Sure, I see that.
Okay.
It's not... Yeah.
I do have a question. Is where's the trunk? How does that work?
I have the answer for you. Hold on, let's get through the pictures.
Yes.
First off, they are a Targa. I've always loved Targa and I've always wanted to own one. Targa just means that the whole midsection of the roof comes out. And it comes out... Oh, there's your trunk picture.
Yes.
That's
So
it.
it's just the glass that pops up.
Just the glass. That's it. That is your entire trunk access.
Basically a Corvette.
Basically. And I had a convertible version. They weren't much better than this. So, it's staggering that it's not better, but somehow it's not. Yeah, there's the Targa top. Super cool. Super cool. Another really important thing that I think really helped these cars is finally, for 2009, they blacked out the headlights in the surrounds. So you still had the silver of the halogen, but the surround of the headlight was blacked out. and it just cleans up the front end so much. Huge improvement.
Look how short those side windows are, though.
I was about to say that. It looks like it has front blind spots. Just with the way the roof slopes downward into what I assume would be my line of sight.
Yeah,
It looks like it's had like a chopped top.
Yeah.
that's
which
what
is
I
kinda
think
cool.
makes it cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. I feel like it's horrible practically, but it's
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool looking.
No, yeah, there's... Just to be clear, this is a terrible car. You should in no way, shape, or form spend $25,000 on one of these cars.
No.
And these are fetching that much money.
Yeah.
If
This
not
one's
more.
automatic too.
Yeah, this one's an automatic. There is only like 100 manuals. They are very rare.
Hmm.
And they are fetching like $35,000, $40,000. Sure, it's super cool. You could do a lot more with $40,000.
I wish they made the Sky version of this though.
I
'Cause I like the
guarantee they
Sky
were going
design a
to
lot.
before,
Yeah.
but it's a shame because if they had continued to make them, these wouldn't have been so much, right? Like they probably would have caught more than convertibles, but they wouldn't have been $25,000 today.
No.
And I feel
And
like
this-
if I had gotten a Targa, a coupe, I probably would have kept the car.
No, you still would have bitched about the transmission.
But that butt, though. I mean, the transmission was bad, don't get me wrong. But that butt, though.
That window is so short. It's like worse than the modern Camaros.
Mm-hmm. But unlike a modern Camaro, it looks proportionally cool. Like, just like you guys said, it looks like a chop top car from the factory. And the way the nose is crazy long, it always gave me the Viper vibes. And I always enjoyed driving it because you can see these fenders as you're driving, like way out in front of you. And it gives you that cool feeling that no other car really gives you. I would still own one of these over a Corvette any day. Where'd those crickets come from? I don't understand who played these crickets.
We're so mildly interested.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Does the hood prop up frontward or backward?
It is a clamshell, so frontward.
Ah.
I wish they had that
Do
picture.
the headlights go with it?
They do.
Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to piece this together in my head. I mean, for novelty's sake, I like the clamshell opening on roadsters like this.
Mm-hmm. I've always enjoyed clamshell hoods until I've had to work on something.
That's a very
with
good
one.
word
Yeah.
for this. That's a very good word for this car. It's just like novel.
Novel. Yeah, it's a novelty. Probably doesn't count because I'm more than mildly interested in it. I just know that other people are going to be like, ah.
I think we might need to retitle this segment to, okay, so hear me out.
So hear me out now. All right, Kurt, hear me out.
Hear me out. I may have misinterpreted this new segment of ours. Mildly interesting, I took as, here's something you don't see every day. I'm not going to buy it.
I mean,
I'm not going to make
you don't
this
see
mistake.
Solstice coupes every day?
True, very true. But I chose a 1959, not something in the 2008, 2009 like you guys, but a 1959 Beardmore British Taxi.
Oh, it's Beardmore.
Oh, yeah, the Beardmores.
Of course.
For $3,500, this individual is selling a 59. What are they known as in Europe? Like they're just called like the black cabs or black something.
I think black cab sounds right, but I might be wrong.
I feel like there's a very British word for them.
Hmm.
But yeah, this is for sale here. I don't know how it got here. It's got a really just weird setup because it's a taxi, so it has like,
so there's no passenger seat.
Yeah, there's just like a driver capsule compartment on the inside.
Wild.
It has the rear doors are suicide doors.
Do you think this is for like more storage? Like you put your things there? Like why this? Somebody is gonna tell us. Somebody British.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that. I really honestly didn't even like notice that. Like it's this weird cutout and platform.
And I
Where
guess
Yeah.
can?
Huh.
Huh.
Yeah, where the front door would be. It's very, and yeah, there's a separation there, and the dash just goes through it.
Yeah. The British Taxi. Does it say on here? Maybe it says on here. London Taxis, Remarkable London Taxi, Austin FX3. Nothing.
nothing.
Nothing. Huh.
Yep.
How is this here? Why is this here?
How is this here? Why is this here? It's right-hand drive. Or yeah, it's right-hand drive. So definitely not of these lanes.
This vehicle has never been registered inside the United States and still wears the original British license plate. That's a selling point.
Yeah. Title is missing.
Needs rear brakes. Let's make that list a little bit longer, huh?
Yeah, needs rear brakes and whatever happened to the front left fender there.
I guess it's fiberglass because it's all spider cracking like this.
Yeah. No, but I guess this Beardmore was a competitor for what became the more well-known black cab. And perhaps it's that weird front passenger cubby that exists for reasons unknown.
That's really the most fascinating part of this. I am mildly interested to know why that's there.
See? I got him. But yeah, that I saw this and I'm like, I wouldn't. I mean, it would be like interesting to go see and be like, haha, look at that thing. But that's about it.
Yeah. Super strange. I'm still just staring at this cubbyhole trying to figure out why. And now I'm imagining like a person standing on it. Like
Yeah.
Okay. I need to stop looking at that before I become a little too interested.
We need our British listeners to comment on this episode and let us know.
All right. Well, that was mildly interesting. Are you mildly interested?
Mildly.
Oh boy. Cube, save us.
Man, what you got in that thing, brother? Well, a vacuum leak and blown out collector gaskets.
I think Cube's just described his car, so let's describe Cube's car, basically. I've ridden in it. Kurt's ridden in it. I don't think ZK's ever been up there, right?
I drove it.
You drove it. That's right. You drove it on the day of which you got the Corolla, right?
When I first looked at the Corolla, we didn't purchase that day, but yeah, I drove it.
How did that not convince you that cars weren't for you?
Because I knew not all cars were 70 feet wide and steered like a boat in choppy seas.
Surely they can't all be this bad.
Yeah. Well, if the Corolla's better than this, then I gotta buy it.
Oh no. I spent a pretty good amount of time up there when I was staying for PAX, and Cubes brought his car over to where we were staying, and we just kind of drove around a bit in West Seattle. And...
Well, what is it, first of all, for those who don't know?
Oh, of course. It is definitely a year of Chevelle that I can't remember, and it is a 4-door with a 307? Who knows?
He's going to be so mad.
He's going to be so mad, and I'm going to be so happy. But I seriously enjoyed our day cruising around in that car because it's so wrong, too. Like, it's so out of place now, but everybody that's inside of the car is living in 1975, while everybody outside of the car is frowning and grumpy because this very loud yet slow and smelly automobile is in their way. And it's just a wonderful experience. And it does sound cammed because of
I think I actually do know what he's talking about, though. It's the old like 5 minute or 30-second 11-liter trick you can do, or you just poke holes in the exhaust so it makes you sound like you have a much larger engine than you do because it just makes it rumble and stuff. So I'm pretty sure that's what he means, is that, you know, one way to make your car sound a lot better is it's actually just really crappy.
Oh yeah, I had an MR2 that fit that description. The NA second gen that I had was the loudest automobile I've ever owned and possibly have ever heard on the street, and it was also the slowest car I have ever owned. So, yeah,
Like it'll sports exhaust leak.
it had an exhaust leak and it had a really loud exhaust, and it was so loud that the plates in the kitchen, like in the drawers, would rattle when I started it up in the morning. And I'm sorry to everybody that lived in that neighborhood. I'm very sorry.
I'm gonna have to stop you for a second. Why are your plates in the drawers?
Why wouldn't your plates be in the drawers?
Aren't
Moving
they in
along.
Shelves.
No, they're in drawers. I don't need your judgment of my kitchen arrangement right now. I'm getting out of here. Cubes didn't save us at all. Especially since I didn't fully understand what he meant. But hey, we got to explain our Cubes Corner official automobile experience.
It's his
also,
daily
like-
driver too. We should mention, like,
Didn't
it's
he-
his
didn't he
only and
also,
daily
like-
driver.
Really, really badly bottom out that day and hurt something?
I don't know if well, I never heard back on whether or not he hurt something, but yeah, we bottomed out real hard on a very bumpy road on the way back from seeing the Corolla. Also, we saw the Corolla. We agreed to take a few days. He still didn't have the title for the Corolla. He drove away. We went to drive away, but the battery was dead on Cube's car. So I had to text the guy and be like, if you haven't gotten so far, could you come back and help us jump our car here? So that was an interesting first foray into old classic car ownership.
So the Corolla jumped off the Chevelle?
Yes.
That in itself is impressive. Good job, Corolla.
Yes, sold.
Yeah. All right. Best car, best ads, Cone Dodger, Datsun. This is, if you don't know Datsun history very much, this is a 1975 Datsun B210. Datsun was very well known for making extremely great automobiles and extremely questionable automobiles at the same time. And the B210 was one of the questionable ones, because it was like based on the regular sedan, but was super weird looking. Somehow, they've managed to make it worse here. I need you to buckle your pants, because this is going to be wild.
But I'm not wearing pants.
This is a modified B210. I can't accurately describe how it's modified other than ease of entry.
They chopped the roof off and half the doors.
Gave it a singular roll bar that just hooks to the windshield frame. These were not convertibles, by the way. These were coupes and sedans. And, yep. There's some more.
Muffler dragging on the floor there.
Well,
That rear has a lot of camber in it too. Oh no, the wheel's not even. Is the wheel even attached?
there is
okay.
no rear end. It's sitting
Oh
on cinder
my.
blocks, and they put the wheel up to it to make it look like it's there.
Is this by the same people who were selling that Subaru Brat golf cart thing you had previously? 'Cause it looks like
Interestingly,
the same build quality.
Interestingly, a very different part of the country.
Okay.
But boy howdy, have not these people. I don't think so. I think somebody actually bought this thing as it sits, or as it was modified. But here's a good picture of how it was modified. You can see that they just cut the doors down and welded across the top.
And that
some
brace to the roll bar narrows down to where it's only like an inch wide or less.
I mean,
Real
to be
safe.
fair, you didn't want to roll one of these cars when they were new, but you really don't want to now. I hate that, like, from the front too, it's completely unsuspecting.
Other than a flat tire.
Right. I mean, it's just like, oh, look at that. It's an old V210 that's, left out, abandoned. Oh, God, what have they done?
This B210 came to me in hopes of a restoration project, but due to various mistakes and other commitments, I just haven't been able to give it the attention it deserves.
Engine and transmission are present, but the axle has been removed for another car project.
Oh, okay.
Here's where they got saved. As you can see, the poor thing has had a roof job. So obviously they were not, responsible for this. The seller realizes something terrible has happened here. But not sure why you're selling it. Needs to go to a scrapyard.
Why would you buy it in the first place?
For the axle,
The
apparently.
axle, probably, yeah.
Was it? It looks
Why
like,
would
was
you
it a
put the
four-door?
wheels there?
Yeah, it's a 4-door.
So the rear doors are now held
I don't think any of
up
the
and
doors.
together by the roll cage.
I don't think any of the doors open. I get the impression.
The fronts theoretically could, it
Oh, they
seems.
are seamed there, yeah. And I'm sure the door that's been cut in half is completely structural to put that roll bar to.
Wow.
Yikes.
I don't know why I keep
Yeah.
finding these things, but they find me. And I'm real upset about it.
Something to do with your aura.
I guess. I would never.
Those visors look good. How much of the visors do they have? Three screws at the connection point?
Looks like they do. 1, 2,
Yeah.
and then the third in the background. There you go. Call them up.
$1.
$1.
We get $1.
I'm sorry, I didn't read this part of it. No title, so check your state laws regarding salvage, etc. to see how difficult the process might be. Missouri's laws have made it next to impossible. Thank you, Missouri? Like...
Yeah, thank you for being like, no, we don't want this.
Oh, man. All right, Kurt Jamak.
Okay, I forgot
Ooh.
for a moment. This almost could have gone in mildly interesting, but I was only informed of this programming change moments before I uploaded my video choices here.
Well, that's a mildly interesting story.
Yes. This right here is a 1995 BMW 318 Ti for $1,900. These are, I mean, a mistake I would make along the same lines as that Mercedes C230. And honestly, they were, I guess, kind of in the same category. This kind of, let's make a fun hatchback to kind of capture the youth market, says the luxury German automakers. But yeah, this was the best ad because if you look at the profile of the car, I think the joke commonly made here is that it looks like a normal BMW that's been in a rear end collision. The fun one here is this one has actually been in a rear end collision.
It's
The
perfect.
back end is all dented in. Yeah, it matches the theme and everything like that. So I mean, that's the punchline of the ad.
I feel like you could probably actually convince someone of that. Like, someone that doesn't know cars be like, yeah, this car got rear-ended. It used to be a lot longer.
Used to have a full-size trunk.
You've forgotten all about that joke. Other than that,
I'm a real big fan of the TIs.
did you know that they were touring internationals? Because I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. What is weird about these is, so they're like a, E36, right?
Don't ask me.
E34, whatever that is.
You're the
But they
German
have
car
the
fan here.
E30 rear suspension. So they don't actually have the problem where the rear subframe tears out because they use the older style suspension because it fit in the short car.
Kurt's now sitting there saying, the rear suspension tore out?
That was with the Datsun we just looked at.
Yeah, that was a fun BMW mistake of the 90s.
It's such a shame this was rear-ended because this is a good car.
Oh, it was rear-ended, but I feel like that's mostly trunk damage. I feel like you could probably fix that up to be
With all
pretty-
the other 318 Ti's out there.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't even know this mode existed.
Whoa!
At least they're a big fan of numbers.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, they're like you said, there's been quite a few I see pop up, and like non-damaged ones are going for like 3,000 or something like that. So
Cheap, affordable German fun. And jokes.
Jokes!
Yeah, I would have to leave it just like that. Get some kind of like decal made in the back that makes a joke of the rear end. Squishage. And lastly, ZK's best ad of the week.
What we have here is a 1984 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra Brougham. Diesel.
There's one more
with
word.
a bash bar. Oh, it's
Brougham.
slab. That's just for the SEO. Don't pay
What?
attention.
What? I need
What is
explanation
slab?
of two things now.
Okay. Start.
Slab?
Slab. It's a Houston thing. I'm not exactly qualified to explain it, but probably I am. It's slow, loud, and banging. It's the old American cars like this with wire wheels and being slammed with the candy paint and all that. So it's advertising that this could be used for that purpose.
Number two, which part of this name is the actual car?
The Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra Brougham.
Okay, continue.
I was very confused when I looked up information and was like, wait, what?
Okay.
So, for some reason in the 80s, Oldsmobile decided to call all their cars the Cutlass. So, it's the Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra, which is different from like the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, for example. Like the Sierra, I think I'm saying that right, is front-wheel drive. And Brougham is the trim level, which is one of the fancy packages that's been in GM for years.
First time I've heard it.
But this is also the diesel version of that car
Yeah.
with
But
a
it's-
V6 diesel front-wheel drive.
It's a V6 diesel, but I believe... Sorry, I'm enjoying the pictures currently.
Look, yeah,
Diesel badge.
ooh.
Boy, lots of information. I wasn't expecting all of this based on the first picture.
yeah, I know. It's very bizarre.
What is this
Is it-
picture?
I left it in
Microscopic.
because I have no idea what this is trying to show off.
Okay.
The picture of the back of the seat, kind of. He's got it serviced.
I'm trying to
It's
get
got
back to the
plastic
original. There we
dips.
go. Yeah, I could do without the plastic dip black. But, there was no engine picture, was there?
Mm-mm.
Oh, because I think this is just like a regular GM 4.3 that runs on diesel. Like they just decompressioned them and ran them on diesel. I'm not sure of that, but I know they did a lot of that back in this era.
Yeah, and this car has a whopping 85 horsepower.
Ooh, right in Kurt's sweet spot.
Yeah, woo, watch out now. That's 10 more than I'm used to.
And like 160 foot-pounds or something like that.
Boy, howdy.
But other than the bash bar,
the bash bar really makes it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It fits so well.
I know.
Why?
If you didn't like it, you could just unbolt it. But like, what possesses someone to put this on in the first place?
Dear.
And why is it?
Did you say beer or deer?
You know, I said deer, but either work.
Oh, I heard beer.
Oh man.
It's got that perfect velour
Oh.
red burgundy interior with the shag carpet.
Look at the shag and that shag.
And look at the passenger seat. Like, I think in the next picture it shows it off better. You can see that dingy brown layer of farts that are just well ingrained into it.
Oh man.
But it's like at the same time, the interior is not like torn up.
No, it's not.
Yeah, from the outside, this is not what I anticipated the inside to look like.
And it's got like almost 200,000 miles on it.
It smells like what I would expect. What? You don't smell it? I smell it.
And look at the owner's manual
Yeah.
with the computer and the old digital font.
Yeah. Reminds me of that wagon that Doug DeMuro just reviewed. In fact, this whole arrangement here
Yeah.
does.
Steering wheel and everything, yeah.
Yeah. That's a horn.
Heart spin.
That's a horn. That's a horn. Okay. I'm surprised this isn't in the mistake you would make. That's a dead spider inside the gauge cluster.
That's how you know it's legit.
That's a dead spider
Never restored.
inside.
Barn
Never
find.
restored. I wasn't sure until now. I thought maybe the push bar was its restoration. Oh, you can see like spray can lines here.
And he just painted over the badges.
Oh man. Broham.
They're really happy or like really proud of that badge because there's Broham and diesel badges around this.
Is a
car
Broham just
everywhere.
like an early version of a Brodozer? Because I got the dozer part down.
Is that what we're going to start calling the people inside the bro dozers, or they're the Brohams?
Yes. Oh man. Good job, everybody. I approve.
We did it.
We did it. Fires right up. Lots of life left in that diesel engine. Not a lot of life left in this episode of Rainwind Park, though. 'Cause that's it. And I had fun. You know, we're here together looking at cars on the internet and sometimes butts. All right, thanks
Good
for
night,
watching, everybody. Bye.